Hello, and how we doing, people? Bit late, sorry. Do apologise. Bit preoccupied with other things. Got my twin brother around and just been having something to eat, so kind of ran a bit later than normal. But how are we all doing? It is the second semi-final for the CRS tournament here this evening, and it is. Hang on, I need to change something. It is LRS versus PGS, not what it says on the screen currently. Just give me a moment, I will change that. But yeah, how we all doing? A bit rushed, so I don't know what track we're at. Anything. So just bear with me. Today's kind of got away from me. Oh my god, why the fuck has it done that? Oh, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. And now my camera's not working. Everything's just going completely to plan, people. Nothing's like going wrong. Everything's going perfectly fine. But yeah, should be a good race this evening. This is for the final spot for next week's finale. And I mean, I haven't commentated. Commentated on a lot of people, but are we going to see anybody I know from PGS? Now, PGS kind of got a free pass into the semi-final there. The league that they were meant to go up against actually pulled out. Couldn't get enough drivers, so that was the free pass for them getting here this evening. Yotaz invites in lobby has been set, but yeah. Tess Clark, don't scare us like that. Why? What have I done now? Oh, about the comms. Yeah, sorry, mate. It's just been a bit. Why can't I get rid of this now? This is being daft. Too much stuff going on. Why is my camera changed? It shows me on, but then. Right, there we go. How are we doing, people? Still not showing fair play. Oh, no, it is. There we go. Hey, there we go. Right. Get off my fucking screen. Oh, this is annoying. I need to try and get on my own to get the invite to get into the lobby. But if you are new here, it is a 4v4 format. Anyway, how are you? Yeah, I'm very, very well. Thank you, Gaul. As you all know, 4v4 format. If you was here yesterday, top four, well, highest scoring four from each team, each league, goes through to the final, which will be held, I think it'll be the same time next Saturday. So, hopefully, we can see a really, really good battle here this evening. As I say, and I'll know the LSR boys a lot. I've commentated on them a hell of a lot over the past, I'd say, nearly a year and a half now. You weren't there because of something serious. Nah, I was just having something to eat, and I just kind of got away from myself. Hello. I don't know if you can see this big lump behind me, but my twin brother stood there. We've got short quality at the Netherlands. There he is, ugly fucker. They have gone into quality. Yeah, I'm already there. So looks like the weather not looking great here. Looking very overcast. So we could see drivers trying to get out on track early, trying to score some points. So let's see who we know. We've got Gotto, we've got Dusty, we've got Barmy, and I think Frank the Tank might be. I think I've commentated on Blinding Echo once before, but the other guys all unknown. And as you can see, a lot of cars getting out on the circuit. The gold cars will be the team of LRS here this evening, as we're on board with a very, very fast gentleman in the name of Gotto, but we'll come back to him soon, as we've got a few people out on the circuit. And we'll jump on with the big man, Barmy Tick. Oh, body was stood there then because of that fucking coat. Barmy Tick, as we know, very well-paced driver. We've seen him win races. We've seen him become a champion. So we know Barmy's got the pace. Just because I know the LRS boys, that means I am going to stand by them here this evening. And the pace, I mean, unless these other guys have got some really blinding pace, Barmy Tick, Dusty Bassoon, Gotto, Frank the Tank, you know, very, very quick drivers. I don't know if I've just seen some rain hitting the circuit. I think I have, and the rain has come early, so it looks like Barmy Tick probably getting out very early there. The rain is in Sector 3. It started in Sector 3. You could just see a couple of drops in Sector 1 now, going through Turn 1 there, on board with Barmy. But Barmy could secure the fastest lap here. The rain continues to fall. It's only going to get the track a lot more greasier, which is going to slow down the lap times in behind him. Who is actually out behind? It's Dusty's in the pits. So it's Frank the Tank. No, it's not Frank the Tank. Anyway, we're on board with Barmy. We'll just go back to him. We'll see what his lap times are going to look like. Is Dusty trying to go for a little bit of a last to first day, trying to challenge himself? Frank is ours. Yeah, I thought so.
All right, yeah, no.
Still looking at you, but oh shit, yeah. Oh my god, I keep doing this. One sec. It's because I've rushed. It's because I've rushed. I do apologise, Mr. Nello. And there we go, Barmy Tick, 108.971. Gotto in at P2 with a 109.057. So not too far away from Barmy there. Blinding Echo, 110. PGS Luke, another 110. You got Hology Knack, F1, in the 109s. Lows, so he's going to be looking to try and bring the team along. You got Barmy Tick. Looks like that rain not going to have any real effect in qualifying here. Maybe Dusty's come out a little bit too late. But we'll see now as Dusty begins his, could be one and only run, depending on how much the rain affects this qualifying here. Doesn't seem to be in the circuit too much. It's progressed a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be to a point where we may see it upset their big man Dusty Bassoon on his qualifying lap. Should still see a bit of a banger here from Dusty, hopefully. Fastest Sector 1 for Dusty Bassoon there. Oh, I mean, it says that, but it could be his personal best. But looking like a very good lap from Dusty Bassoon so far. Rain still not having it will be having an effect on the tyres and obviously the grip on the circuit at this moment in time. But Dusty's still managing this qualifying lap here very nicely. And into the final few corners comes Dusty Bassoon. Into the final one. It's up to the line. Here he goes. Dusty Bassoon, what's it going to be? He puts himself in at P2. So you've got the top three of LRS, which is Gotto, Dusty, and Barmy. And I don't think this rain is going to go any more than it needs to. Are we going to see a wet race? I mean, can we get feedback here? Can any of the drivers let us know if there's going to be any rain here in the race, or is it just in qualifying? But let's have a look at Blinding Echo. Blinding Echo, I'm sure I've either seen him in the open lobbies that we do, or I have commentated on him. Run wide there. That's a big incident there. Up onto the grass. And that's his front wing damage. There's going to be no improvements for Echo. Still got people coming out on circuit on the softs. Barmy's on another outlap. Thinks he can improve on his time as it currently stands. So can he do it? Here he comes, Barmy Tick, through Sector 2. We're going to come up to the Sector 2 free split. What's the time going to be like? I mean, looks like the rain's pretty much stopped. It's just very fine. So, yeah. Coming round the final corner under a bit of pressure now because Tom's missus has decided to arrive. But on to the start finish line. How are you doing, Lauren? You alright, darling? Into turn one, goes Barmy Tick. Can he improve on this lap? I think with the rain, like I said, like I pointed out before, it's not heavily coming down, so I think there could be improvements on the lap. Bit more rubber on circuit could help Barmy, but looked a bit unsettled there coming out of that corner. Car just having a bit of a wiggle before he gets enough traction to get the power down there. So into the tricky fast right-hander. You overshoot that corner, hit that curb on the left-hand side, you're riding that, and potentially you're getting a 3-second time penalty. Is Barmy now just a little snap on the exit there as well? Let's see if he's improved as he comes to... Nah, he's a see. Barmy hit the track, I think, prime time. I think he got out first, got his setup on, seen the rain, and just wanted that as dry a track as possible. The rain did start to hit in sector 3 for Barmy when he started his lap, but obviously it's progressed now with the laps. Frank the Tank, the other LRS guy, down in P7 at this moment in time. We've got the Fizz looking to improve. There's no improvements for the Fizz. We've got Luke Bailey just improved by 0.2 there. So still improvements to get out on track. Just how much you want to try and push the car is the question. So Luke Bailey did improve, but the top three still held by the LRS boys. You got Dusty and Gotto on laps, very close to one another. Dusty in behind Gotto, who will jump on board with. Can he improve? He only needs to find a 10th to go in front of Barmy. I mean, he was out in these similar conditions, but obviously there's another lot of laps gone in. Bit of time passed, more slight rain hitting the circuit, which could unsettle the tyres. So through sector 1 now he goes. Turn 3s, turn 4, 5. I think we're up to here. This downhill, you can really throw the car in. Boom. Hold that pace. Catch this corner beautifully. Cuts it nicely there, Gotto. Just on the curb a little bit, but not enough. So obviously, if that tyre was over that curb, that was it. That was a lap over for Gotto. But he is pushing. Looks like he may have just backed out there. Riding that curb on the exit cost him track time. Is he trying to help Dusty now? Trying to give Dusty a bit of a slipstream to the end. It looks like it. Come on. Oh, no, he's getting out of the way. So, Dusty Bassoon, is he going to improve? Could be close. As he's up to the line. What's it going to be for Dusty? He doesn't improve. Probably that final corner may have caught him out. Bit of hesitation with Gotto being in one of the corners as well. May have cost him a little bit of time on his lap. Can really throw you off if someone's there. You know, if you make a minor mistake, that's it, it's done. But the lad's getting as much track time as possible. Barmy Tick out again, starting another lap. The Fizz actually manages to go up into P5. So good result for him. Gets himself up into P5. We need to see Frank the Tank. Can he improve? Got 7 minutes left of qualifying to find out. Doesn't need much. I mean, to get above Luke and that, he doesn't really need much. But if he can put a lap together and get up with his fellow teammates into the top 4 and like all LRS, hold the top 4, track's worse. Yeah. Thought it would be. Don't see really any point in being out on circuit. I mean, let's see if Barmy can improve. Barmy's not down by much. But he's got it all to gain in this final sector if he's going to do anything. Nah, just can't do it. Circuit is duet. So that pretty much be qualifying over, I'm guessing, at this point now. Got an invalidation from Blinding Echo there, just going off circuit, but I'm sure they'll be on the way back into the pits. Just there's going to be no improvements at all now. Can see the rain sort of putting a looks like a layer of film. You can see that whiteness, that glaze now on the circuit, which is definitely going to affect the tires, the temperature. The warm-up lap would have to be absolutely mental for them to even like try and put a lap in. But Gotto, proving me wrong, probably going to go out and improve. He's out on the mediums. Won't be a Gotto qualifying if he wasn't on those medium tyres. Having a little bit of an outing. So, Gotto keeping us entertained for the final few minutes of qualifying. Therefore helped. You think it's helped? I think it was just timed perfectly, especially from Barmy and Gotto. Dusty came out a bit later, but still managed to do really well on his lap. As you can see, not too. I think it's like half a tenth, as Gotto's had a big slide there. Big slide. So I don't think Gotto. I mean, will he continue on? He's still pretty decent, a decent spot to continue on and maybe bang a lap in here on the mediums. But it would have been so difficult, the tyre warm up on those mediums in these, even in these conditions, just with a slight rain. Track temperature very low. And the rest of it. So through sector 1, we'll see if he improves. Nah, he's second. Never going to find that bad, but he's just probably getting out, seeing if he can deal with these conditions. Barmy retiring. Why not? See if he can deal with these conditions on the track or with the mediums, and he's doing really well. I think even if it was dry, Nello, to be fair, it looks like, I mean, the rain, obviously, the PGS boys went out late. And they're in a good position. I mean, I don't think, if Gotto, Dusty, and Barmy can stay in them positions, I don't think, really, there's anything that the LRS boys can do from there. In fairness, if this is how the race ends, that's the way it's ending, isn't it? And LRS would be through. I'm just going to get a drink, people. One sec. Give me a minute, man. Quali's nearly over. Being moaned at. Twinborough whinging at me. Oh. But yeah, there'll be no big improvements. Gotto just putting the laps together here, getting warmed up for the circuit. Nothing major will happen. There is a 5-minute break, I know, so I'll take a 5-minute break to have a little bit of a minute in the living room. So the screen will be blank. I won't be saying out, but I do apologise. And then I've got to make a fucking cheesecake after this. Oh, white chocolate cheesecake, which I might actually do tomorrow now, because by the time I finish this, little one's going to be in bed and it'll be too noisy, too noisy. But yeah, Dusty on an out lap. We got Blinding Echo, Frank the Tank, all on the circuit. Just having a bit of a practice, getting the laps in here. mean, Frank's not going to improve on his lap. I doubt it. I mean, he could do. He's nearly 3/10 down through sector 1 alone, so he's got to have a massive sector 2 and 3 if he wants to improve. A strong team for LRS. Very, very strong team. Can Frank, like, in the race, hopefully it's dry, can he get involved? Can he start mixing it? Can he, you know, gain a few positions on Blinding, Echo, Luke Bailey, and the Fizz? The Fizz now on the circuit. Luke Bailey retires. He knows that Frank's not going to improve enough to get past him. So does Echo. He does well, though, Frank. Only 3/10 behind his other time. Frank now retiring. It's a good job there's not a bloody car behind him. But, yeah, we've got Dusty, Gotto. The Fizz is on an out lap. Let's see if Fizz can keep it stable and on track. He's on the inters as well. Oh, blip wobbly, Blinding Echo now retiring. Big man Dusty into the pitch. You've got Gotto going for another lap. Dusty soon retiring from the session. Down to the final two on the track. The Fizz and Gotto. Yes, Mr. Crewy. How we doing? Here's to you, Mr. Crew. How's it going, Crew? Hope you're well. What's up, Baba? You need a leg for your dolly?
No, a blanket.
A blanket? I'll try and find one for you in a minute. So here comes the Fizz into sector 3. Couple more corners and then qualifying's over. As soon as he comes across the line, that'll be it. Last run here from Fizz. Just doing an inters run. Are we going to see rain in the race? And there we go. Qualifying over. Apart from Gotto. I think Gotto got out. Got across the line. And here he comes. It's like he's celebrating. There we go. Right, so I'll announce the qualifying order and then I'll be back in 2 minutes. So, Barmit P1 got out. Great timing. A 108.971. Dusty Gotto in at P2 and 3. You got Halogen Knack F1 in P4. The Fizz 5. Luke Bailey 6. Blinding Echo 7. And Frank the Tank in 8th. So, advantage LRS here. But I will be back very, very shortly. Just bear with me, people. J7BP. To be fair, I could have beaten that pole time. Nice. I know you could, J7. J7BP watching on, keeping an eye on the competitors. He could potentially be battling next weekend. But back in a minute. What's up, baby? I know. It's a felt tip. I know, you've lost it. Yeah. Everything on both sides, so but busy. Right, I'm back. So who we got in the chat? We got J7BP and Gotto. Bit of banter going on. Could we see these two battling it out in the final? J7BP already securing his place there last night with, I mean, you need to watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch last night's stream. J7BP and the Evolution Racing team pulled off an absolutely brilliant strategy. It was absolutely amazing. I was talking to Nello for about 20 minutes after the race about it. It was brilliant. Owns a blood clot esport. Yeah, you didn't win. You'd let Finger Knox win, but I mean the strategy, you would have won it regardless. But obviously the strategy that you did and how you helped your teammates through and had them like put in the perfect positions, it was brilliant. Well timed, well executed. There was nothing that Mario Jonas could do. Not good enough for me. Honestly, if you haven't watched it, go back and watch it for last night's race. Fucking brilliant. And for 8 cars going round Qatar, where you probably think there's not going to be much action, but it was really close. Like you had Knox Desiree and Slater, they were battling it out. Then you had J7BP and Mayum Jonas, they were battling it out. Geordie was in a bit of no man's land, and then it was just and then Top G got involved, and he was just up and down, helping people get free wins and that. You got to do your charity work once a year, haven't you, J7BP? You got to let someone else have the limelight. But it looks like we've got a nice clear race here this evening. The Netherlands. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to put their foot in the final? Here we go. 5 red lights. And they are away. It looks like Dusty got a bit bogged down on the start there. And him and Gotto need to block off the PGS team as the side-by-side with Dusty. A bit of contact with Gotto. Dusty losing out. Gotto having to defend here from the guy in the back. But Barmy Tick's got a good start. He's got a nice little lead. That's what the team needs. Someone out in front. Let's have a look at the tyres. We've got Blinding Echo on the softs. Wants to make moves early. Frank the Tank's managed to get up into P7. That's good for the LRS boys. Securing more points there. So Barmy trying to get out of DRS range. And I think he's going to do so by the end of the lap. Dusty not the greatest to starts though. Started P2s, lost 2 positions. So now it's about Dusty coming back here and trying to get back up into P3. Barmy Tick losing a bit of time there at the end of Sector 3. That's dropped him back. Gotto half a second behind his teammate now. And I'm sure Dusty and the rest of them want that guy out the way, the top 3. So the top 3 can just kind of run away with it with having one of the PGS boys in. It kind of throws a spanner in the work. Dusty's got to get past him. Gotto's got to defend. Barmy needs a big enough gap on the exit of the final corner so he doesn't get, overtaken due to DRS. So it's just all coming together. It looks like Luke. They're all sticking quite close together. Frank the Tank dropping out of DRS range, trying to push back though now. Trying to use his ERS to try and get back within DRS range of the front pack. Just struggling a bit though. Dusty's also struggling. He's nearly dropped out of DRS range. He's got Blinding Echo put pressure on him with the softs. But Barmy doing a bit better this time round through the final few corners. Goto still catching though. DRS going to be activated. Here comes Goto. Is he going to try and go for the move on Barmy, or does he sit just in behind his teammate? And it looks like team orders probably being called for the team. And Barmy maintains the lead. Dusty closing right back up. Blinding Echo doing well on the soft so far. Just not found any purchase to really get past the medium runners. Shows the class of the drivers up at the front. You know, being able to maintain the lead with a guy on the softs. Really good driving. The Fizz in at P6. Frank and Luke still having that little bit of a battle. Frank's got a big off. And that's Luke. Oh, no, it's... Hang on. But it's... Why is it showing Frank? Yeah, Frank's last now. Yeah, so Frank now off the pace of Luke. Too fast into that corner. Went up onto the curb. And like I said in qualifying, you touch that curb, you get up on that. There's no escape. Just have to take the ride. So now Frank... with it all to do, trying to catch Luke Bailey. So we're just going to call this guy Hal. So Hal into P3, still maintaining his position, which is good to see. You got Echo and Fizz. It's a good job they didn't fight that too much. Could have cost themselves a bit of track time there on the back of Dusty Bassoon, but they navigate it well. And Blinding Echo maintains that P5 in behind Dusty Bassoon. But like the Fizz was trying to have a bit of a go. But the Fizz definitely looking quicker already. And that's Blinding Echo off the track. I mean, if Luke can close right up here, looks like Blinding's kind of found his feet again. But if Luke can close up, get a bit of DRS, he'd be right back in the action. Classic Dusty start. Yeah, definitely classic Dusty start, J7BP. Dropping positions there. But he's comfortable to the Fizz. Fizz just in DRS range. As Goto and Barmy switch places. Oh, and that's Hal with a bit of a mistake into turn one there. Ran wide on entry. Dusty had a bit of a look, but nothing doing. Just closes the pack up now, this. The Fizz, is he struggling to stay with them? Because I think at some point these boys are going to pull away. The Fizz, only a minor mistake needed. And that will allow them boys at the front, but he's doing well. I think he may be bleeding a lot of his ERS here to try and keep in touching distance of the pack. Dusty getting a bit squiggly on the exit there. Not a great exit from Dusty. That's allowed the Fizz to get a bit of confidence. Even had a little look at Dusty into the braking zone there. See if he could get past. But Hal, again, close to the back of Barmy. This is a good lap for Hal. He could sneak through on Gotaway. Good exit. The LRS boys got to defend it. So they've got to be side by side. And there we go. I think Hal's going to sneak through, though. In behind Barmy Tick. Goto's got to fight this. But doesn't manage to do so. We've got Luke Bailey. 10-second time penalty in the pit lane for Luke. It's a wing change and a movement onto the softs. So definitely going to see another pit stop from Luke. Luke will not be able to go to the end on them softs. He will definitely have to pit for another set of tyres. Yeah, I think LRS have got it easy. I think Dusty, if Dusty just finds his feet a bit, looks a bit lost at the minute. Looks like he just needs to get himself settled mentally. Making a couple of mistakes, which is dropping him back. Better corner there than the last lap for Dusty. But yeah, I think LRS with the top three all squared off. With the main positions all squared off, I think if they can get the all of them in the top three, could be an easy win here for the LRS boys. But Hal going for the lead of the race. And he's got it. Now he's got to defend it. And he's got 3 of the LRS boys to contend with. Now, if these can all follow through quite nicely, the LRS boys, get good exit out the final corner, you could literally see Hal drop 3 positions here. It's going to be a difficult one for him. Dusty's trouble in sector 1 again, not as close. The Fizz having a right good old look at Dusty here. Pushing the car around pretty much, the Fizz. Doesn't look like Zandvoort agrees with Dusty Bassoon. We usually see him doing better than this, but the mistakes are creeping in. Barmy is really close to the back of Hal. This is what the LRS boys need. They need that unit mentality where if one's going, you know, the other one's going. So here we go. DRS active. Barmy's got a good exit out of the final corner. He's very close to Hal. Here comes Gotto. Is Gotto going to be able to do so? Yep, he follows through, but Hal's keeping the inside line. And great defense there into turn 1 for Hal. Frank the Tank in at P6 now, so advantage LRS so far, points-wise, you would think. Dusty will deploy report to pass. It's fine. Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, Barmy's had a really good lap here. He's managed to gap Hal by nearly 7/10. So, if he can get a good couple of corners here, maintain that bit of ERS, Gotto might be able to come through, but Gotto's not had the best couple of corners there. He's put himself back, so just be Hal trying to put the pressure on Barmy Tick here now. As Barmy easily defending his position into turn 1 there. Oh, Hal back end of the car, just stepping out there. Fizz seems like a decent driver. Seems like he's got decent pace. I mean, he's keeping up. He's in the slipstream of Dusty Bassoon, so he's definitely handy. He's definitely got some decent pace about him. Dusty seems to be just making these tiny errors that are costing him lap time to the front pack. If they had Dusty a lot closer, then maybe they'd be able to go as Blinding Echo and Luke Bailey with the penalties. If I'm Hal, yeah, I'd tell everyone to box onto hards now and start backing everybody up as much as possible. But everyone's too far back now, probably. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that's what it's all going to boil down to come Sunday, the strategy. The strategy calls from the teams. As Gotto having a little look there. Gets very close to Hal. Dusty's confidence seems to be building with the car. Oh, there's contacts. There's contacts between the Fizz and Dusty. The Fizz, I mean, got a great exit out of that corner and really put it on Dusty. And they're out of DRS range. So Fizz and Dusty now battling out for P4. Fizz having a few issues there. Time to report for Dusty. Gets a good exit here. DRS open. Is he going to be able to get back onto the back of his teammates? No. 2.5. The mistake cost Dusty and Fizz heavily. It's cost them track time. Dusty really needs to go for it now. He's pushing to try and get the DRS. But it's not as if Gotto and like Barmy can slow down. They both want to get past Hal. Dusty just managing it here. He's got it. He's secured it. Well done, Dusty. Good lap there from Dusty. See, now, if Dusty just needs to get close here to the back of his teammates. This could be a very interesting moment here in the race. Is Dusty going to be anywhere near close enough to perhaps get past? Nice 6/10 back. He's going to be way too far. But yeah, Barmy resuming the lead of the race now with Gotto in behind him. So he's got a bit of a buffer. He's seen them both trying to defend into turn one, Barmy and Gotto. But Hal managed to get a great overtake done into turn one on Gotto. Following Barmy through. Great move. See, Dusty has a brilliant lap and then just seems to drop back a bit. Now, is this where you got, or do you try and get... Do you let Barmy go and hold up Hal? Would that be the case there? At least have guy in the top step and then you and Dusty can battle it out with the Fizz and Hal. It's all the strategy calls. Frank the Tank, very lonely race for him. He's got Luke and Bagnecco 23 seconds off the rear of him, so Frank's just got to go to the end, keep the mistakes down, and just make sure he finishes, and that'll be enough for LRS, I think. That'll see him through to the final for next weekend. So we're back on with this battle. This top five. Dusty again, not the greatest lap. He's dropped out of DRS range. That is not good for Dusty. I think he may have just nicked it there. Yeah, he has. Manages to get himself back in. Hal's been doing really great drive from Hal here. Really trying to be a menace to the LRS team. Trying to go for the overtakes. Oh, that's a big send from Hal. They all managed to sort themselves out there. Hal gets past Gotto. Gets P2. I think you now know the pace of Hal. Lap 13. I think if I was team leader here for LRS, I'd be saying get Gotto in front, hold him up, let Barmy run away with this one. Let's have the fight between Gotto, Dusty, Fizz and Hal. Let's have that fight. Let Barmy do his thing. He's done well. You know, he's been getting the lead for multiple laps now. Can Hal upset the LRS boys here this evening? As the Fizz is through on Dusty. Dusty not having fun here. He made a mistake. They were miles off, and then he had one hell of a lap. I think there looked like contacts between Gotto and Hal there. But Dusty needs to try and hold on. Hasn't looked the quickest here this evening. Maybe it could be the mediums. Might see it. You know, each track has its difficulties with the tyres. Is Dusty going to be quicker on the hard compounder tyres? Can be the case. Oh, they're going for softs, aren't they, actually? I think. I'm sure I said seen Gotto saying medium softs. What would you do here, J7BP? Would you go medium softs, or would it be try something different and go on to the hards? Or is Gotto just trying to wind me up there? Or take the piss out of me there, saying the mediums. Medium softs. I mean, you've seen Blinding Echo start on the soft, so it's not out of range. Only it's not the longest of circuits, neither. The Fizz is really trying to get involved there. Dusty's just not enjoying the circuit. You can see visibly he's making the mistakes, costing himself time. The Fizz could really, like, I think this is what Hal needed. Hal needed one of his, he needed Fizz past on Barmy, on Dusty. Because now you've got Gotto's got to defend. Gotto literally has to defend from the Fizz. Can't really go on the attack against thing because Barmy Tick's going to be going through. So you're going to see Hal trying to defend from Barmy Tick. Dusty really needs to have a good couple of laps here. Throw a spanner in the works. Why not go for an undercut? Try and mix it up that way. Gotto's left the session. That is going to be killer for the boys unless Gotto can get in quick. He needs in. Dusty's going to go through. He can't lose too much time here, Gotto. He needs in the game now. Oh, this is unfortunate for the LRS boys because Dusty's now out of DRS range as well. This has just took a big swing. Massive, massive swing. You and Dusty need to work together here, Gotto. Is Gotto back? He still doesn't look like he's back in the car as of yet. Like I said, they need it here. There's Gotto. I think he's back in. Yeah, it looks like he's back in the vehicle. So he just needs to push a bit here now. Try and get within range of Dusty, and then him and Dusty try and work the way back to the front pack. Could definitely pay off. But they need to think strategy here now, LRS. Do they throw Frank in early? Or do they throw maybe Gotto in early now and try and get Gotto in the lead of Hal? Hold him up. One of them's got to sacrifice. There needs to be sacrifices made for the team. And Dusty's within range. I think Gotto just got the DRS there. No, I think Gotto dropped out. And Gotto went into the pits. Went in with Hal. And now we see the Fizz in P2 putting pressure on Barmy Tick. Dusty trying to get involved with that as well. Now, as Gotto got the pace to try and catch Hal. As Gotto's got to be aware now. Frank the Tank's in front of him. Frank needs to hold up here. He needs to allow Gotto to get with him. It's a hold-up job now for Frank. Needs to help his teammate here. Needs to defend, but it looks like Hal's going down the inside already. Pushing Gotto a bit too wide there. Frank tried everything there to try and keep him behind. But at least Gotto will get DRS down the straight. But Gotto straight through Frank, like allowing him through there. Frank helped. He helped Gotto there. 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane for the Fizz. So this has handed LRS with a big card. This could put LRS right at the top. We know how close Dusty was. Do Dusty and Barmy decide to work together here? Barmy's trying to pull away, trying to keep Dusty out of DRS. Hal goes through on the Fizz. These two now really do need to work together. Hal needs to, like, not run off from his teammate here. Are we going to see the LRS boys try and go onto the softs, or is it definitely the hards? Because, like we say, we've got Hal on the hards. We've got Fizz on the hards. Gotto's moved to the hard compounder tyres. Gotto is pushing for DRS here. I just don't think he's got it on this lap. Don't think he was close enough. No, he wasn't. Gonna have to use his DRS here or have one hell of a lap. Fizz definitely looking like he wanted to put pressure on his teammate there. Dusty into the pits. Dusty out on the softs. So Dusty going to be putting the laps in here now. Gotto just floating around the DRS range. Is he going to get it on this lap? The Fizz and Hal doing well. Caution set to 3. And that's a safety car. Advantage Barmy tick. It's got to be. Barmy's going into the final corner. Into the pits he'll go. Are we going to see these boys try and go onto a different set of tyres here? See you in a bit. See you later, Lauren. Take care, darling. Yeah, don't wait. You're having beef. Melts in your mouth, love. Dusty on the softs, aye. Barmy holds the lead of the race. You've got Gotto back in P3. Dusty's 4. The Fizz serving his time penalty. Good choice there from the Fizz. Needed to do that. But I think Frank has just come out in front of him. So this could be perfect for Team LRS here now. Blinding Echo. I don't know if he gets points for being out. But advantage LRS. Big advantage with PGS losing a driver. But also having Frank in front of the Fizz. Maybe he can hold the Fizz up. And allow then Dusty Gotto. Dusty needs a good final stint here. We haven't seen great stints from Dusty so far. His first stint wasn't the greatest. Kept losing time, kept losing the DRS. Was creepy, kept creeping back in, which was fair enough. But you need to see them improvements from Dusty. Because come this beef it is then. Yeah, definitely. What's up, princess? One set of people. What's up, darling? You miss Uncle Tom? He's only just left. He'll be back soon. He'll be back next week. Is Mummy not at the door?
What?
She misses Uncle Tom.
No.
He'll be fine. Alright. Alright, go on. What's it on, Mum? So yeah, big advantage for LRS. They're all in the top 4. Hang on. So Hal deciding to pit, was that a smart move? Because in theory, if they're all in a chat here now, Dusty, Gotto, Barmy, it's like, Frank, hold these motherfuckers up for as long as you possibly can. Let us get away, and your sacrifice will be honoured by a win. Because we've seen the sacrifice Top G made last night. He made a sacrifice for the team. Yes, he did have penalties. Frank doesn't have any. But if he can hold the PGS boys up, it's all over. We've got 13 laps of racing. Safety car in this lap. And the LRS boys all in unison there. You see the gold liveries of the vehicles. If I was them, I'd be telling Frank to hold them up now, and I'd just be gone. Because they can't pass him. They can get a big of advantage as they want. They can't pass Frank. This is why you need to be in a chat. You could have all just gone. You could have just left Frank defending, not letting them past. But now the Fizz already trying to make a move on Frank. But nothing showing. And now Hal's trying to make a move on his teammate. Teammate lets him through there. The Fizz allowing Hal through. But Frank, he needs to defend it. Looks like Gotto's not doing so greatly on his restart. Dusty and Barmy kind of running away with it a bit here. Gotto nearly dropped out of DRS range. Frank just needs to defend this position. As we've seen Hal do this before, he went down the inside on Frank. And they're doing a great job, is Gotto and Frank here, defending against PGS. PGS throws it down the inside. What a move from Hal. That was a great move to split the LRS boys. Went down the inside, didn't fear the braking zone, got it perfectly. And got past Gotto there. What a move. Frank defend that inside line. He should have defended from Gotto, from him. Gonna get the better exit. And that's now Hal up into P3. But it's cost them heavily. Gotto and Frank have done the job. Dusty's just having trouble sticking with Barmy Tick here a little. Gotto's in big trouble here. He's got the Fizz, and that's a big slide. Gotto's on old tyres. This is what it is. Gotto may have cost LRS here. He needs to get past Luke. Right, because there's 4 drivers. Nello, does Blinding Echo get points for a DNF, or is that he's got none because he went out? Need to know that from Mr. Nello. But there's Gotto with the DRS. Frank the Tank up into P3. Got past Hal. Well done, Frank. No points for DNF, mate. Right, so it's advantage LRS, really, isn't it, here? Gotto could potentially do with getting past Bailey, but with Frank, Dusty, and Barmy in P1, 2, and 3, very secure position for the team here. And who does have the fastest lap so far? Fastest lap is Barmy Tick, so extra point going Barmy Tick's way so far. Barmy Tick so far, yeah. Frank the Tank feeling the pressure. I thought we had another safety car then. I shit myself. Frank the Tank just getting overtaken there by Hal. But once again, it's halted Hal's progress. Frank just a bit caught unawares there by Hal. I think Hal made a tiny mistake. And it caught Frank out. It's made a slight bit of contact. Had compromised his entry line. Well, mid-corner, I think. Sorry. So, yeah, Frank just needs to stay within DRS here. Get past Hal again. Put a bit more pressure on him. Hold him up. Gotto yet to pass Bailey. It's not like Gotto, this. Not used to seeing him dropping so far back. But he's really close to the back of Luke here. So this could be an easy move into turn 1 for Gotto. We'll keep on board with him, see what he can do. Has he got the pace to get past? As Dusty, fastest lap of the race, a 110.853. Great lap from Dusty there. So they'll be getting 16 points from this so far. 16 plus a P3, which would be 5, 21 points there. Then 4, 7. Yeah, I think if it stays the way it is, it's job done for LRS. It's job done now. Frank's just holding up, doing a good job, is Frank. He's still racing, but at the end of the day, I think he knows he's a bit off Dusty's and Barmy's pace, so he's in the perfect position here, really. As Hal going past Frank at the wrong time, really. This is going to allow Frank to go through again into turn 1. He'll get the DRS. There you see DRS open. And Frank's obviously going to go for it. He's not going to hold up. Oh, there's big contacts there. You know what? The PGS boys kind of made a bit of a pig's ear of that. They cost themselves heavily. It's now 4 seconds the gap. So that was a heavy cost for them boys. Heavy cost. That contact. I mean, I don't think they'd have caught up, but it's cost them more time on the circuit. So, as I think it looks like Hal's getting a bit desperate here now. Trying to send it. It's unsettling Frank's car. Frank in prime position yet again. He's going to go for it into turn 1. Come on, Frank, lad. I don't know the PGS boys. I don't wish them any, harm or anything like that. But I am very, very much an LRS supporter here this evening. As Hal, that was very late there. And that's very questionable from Hal there. Very, very late braking. Pushes Frank the Tank wide, which allows the fizz through. That's not good racing from Hal there. Could have done better. We've seen better from him on the circuit. so far. But I think he just let himself down a bit there. But yeah, can Frank the Tank, has he got the pace to get past one of them at least? Get back in the middle of that sandwich. See, Hal late again. Guess he's braking right, but I mean, it's good defense. The last lap it weren't, but that one was a good bit of defense there from Hal. Dusty and Barmy just building the lead. Bit of contact between the pair. They're fighting one another here. Barmy's left the session. Barmy shows up as offline for me. Barmy, you're going to have to get him in there. Dusty's got a bit of time to hold on here. Doesn't want to... Barmy needs back in this race rapid. Is no way. His car's pitted. That is... I don't know how this is going to end here. Can you still go through here, Nello? Has that just cost you the win? I bloody hope not. But Frank the Tank's still doing well, still can't get past. Is their only hope now of trying to do something about this PGS. But they're on the mediums and they're going to be a lot better come the final couple of laps. Nello, where are you? Come on. What's the script? Tell us how it's looking. Right, so Dusty's getting 8. 7 plus 6 is 13. And then what's for P4? So 12. It's P5, so it's going to be 3. 15. 1 point between the two teams in favour of it. Yeah, because Dusty's got fastest lap as well, hasn't he? So Dusty's got 9. So 1 point in it. If it ends like this, LRS are through. Regardless. But Barmy Tick, he's on fresh softs. He's going to be... fastest lap's going to be Barmy's here. He's going to get DRS on the back of Luke. And it's going to be an easy move down into turn 1 for him. So that just helps out that little bit more. With the points. Gotto kind of stuck with the hards. And just lost positions throughout the race. Take nothing away from Hal and Fizz. They've done brilliantly. But the hold-up job from Frank really allowed Dusty and Barmy some free air time to breathe, time to just relax. And then Barmy's internet relaxed too much. We lost him. We lost the... Technically, you know, losing the win. Well, not technically. Full on lost the win due to that. And now the PGS boys, it's going to be a good result for them. You know, they really brought their A games here this evening, especially Fizz and Hal. Luke and Echo DNFing, causing the safety car. Luke just hasn't had the pace, but you know what? He's turned up. He's tried, you know, helping his team out. It just looks like it's not going to be enough in the end for the team to get through. As we are now onto the penultimate lap. Frank the Tank's done really well. Looked like he didn't really have the pace in the first stint before the safety car. But since then, you know, since the safety car restart, he's been battling with these two. The tyre advantage is with the mediums at the moment. So you're not going to see Frank, you know, making any big sends. But, you know, P4, great result for him once this race is over. Dusty into the final corner. He's heading down the main straight now. And he will now begin his final lap here at Zandvoort. And it's been a bit of a weird one for Dusty. Dusty didn't look the greatest on the mediums first time round. Went on to the softs. You know, he's been building that gap with a little bit of help from Frank and Barmy. But yeah, I think LR has been a good race overall. You'd think for 8 cars being on circuit, you wouldn't really see much. But up at the front, it's been, you know, we've not really had to come away from the action. Been little looks, you know, a bit of head games, trying to have the little looks down the straights. But yeah, Hal and Fizz looked like they had the pace of the first stint, but with the help of Frank, the LRS boys have been allowed some free space, especially this man. After his medium run didn't look amazing. He was making the tiny mistakes, making the errors, but he's going to come down the straight and he's going to put the LRS team through to the final. It's Dusty Bassoon taking the win here at Zandvoort. And, you know, unfortunate for the PGS boys, they get the podium. But the podium's just not going to be enough to see them through to the final. But P2, 3, they've got to be very proud of themselves there. But congratulations to the LRS boys, Barmy Tick, Dusty Bassoon, Gotto, and Frank the Tank. Well played to Hal, getting driver of the day. Very well deserved, did very well. Usually I don't complain, but I don't care as long as we're through. Yep. Great result. Through to the final now. And this will be held next Saturday, where I'm not picking a side, because the final is going to be Evolution Racing versus LRS. Have they got the teams already made? We're seeing great... I mean, if the Evolution Racing drivers come with the smoke like they did last night, it's going to be a hard night for LRS because they played the strategy well. It was a bit unfortunate for the LRS boys, obviously. Gotto getting desynced, Barmy Tick getting desynced, which cost them here this evening. Obviously, we know Barmy would have definitely won the race, or potentially up at the front. But yeah, you can't really get it. But the Evo set the standard for me last night. I think to go off over both races, barring the obviously desyncs, LRS very quick. Barmy Gotto, Dusty, and then Frank the Tank as well. Evo very smart. Not saying Evo's not quick. J7BP probably going to take qualifying. But then again, Barmy puts a lap in. They're going to be going for it. Just depends who shows up next week. It really does, because it's going to be interesting. I'm definitely going to be on the fence on that one. I'm not picking a winner. I'll be just excited to see who's actually won once it finishes. But it's been a good race, as I said. Great showing from Hal and the Fizz. Luke Bailey just didn't have the pace. Echo caused a safety car. But again, making mistakes. I think at one point it was like 44 seconds adrift. So it showed Blinding Echo just didn't quite have the pace. PGS only really had 2 drivers here this evening, in fairness. But a good race overall for LRS, barring the that Hal guy was so aggressive. Sometimes you have to be, mate. But he was aggressive and clean. I think that's what did him well. Dive bombs with contact all the time, and when he got into the lead, he was going dangerously slow. I mean, J7BP, he watched yesterday's. You need to get used to probably someone slowing down in front of you, Goto, because J7BP's got the opportunity to hold you up and bring his teammates into play. That's what he's doing. We've seen it last night. So, yeah. But great racing nonetheless this evening. We move on to the final, which will be next week. Next Saturday, 6 p.m. will be the start of qualifying. 8 drivers will start. 1 league will come out on top. It's either going to be Evolution Racing or LRS. So make sure you join us next Saturday for that race. Cannot wait, people. It's been a brilliant one this evening here. Thank you so much for joining me once again for some F1 racing. As always, brilliant to see people in chat. But that's going to be all from me this evening, people. Take care.